One of my favorite things you've done is sort of that bridge between Mexican wrestling, Lucha Libre, and the American entertainment with Lucha Underground. And we see a lot of those Lucha Underground elements play out in MLW too, like Aztec Warfare and stuff. Cesar Duran being there as well, of course. What was it like to be like back in the fold with him too? Because once Lucha Underground ended, I was like, oh, I'm sure he'll just go do acting. We might not ever be fortunate enough to see him again.
Yeah, honestly, when I saw him, I was so happy because I hadn't seen him in a really long time. I have a really hard time also saying his MLW name because
Yeah.
I'd known him for so long as Dario. But that we worked that into the story, and it's been really fun getting to work with him again. Even having Matt Stryker on commentary, like I'm just like, just like old times, buddy. Like it's been really fun, and just now that John is there as well, it feels very comfortable and nice, and it's flowing all together.
It's really amazing how easily he transitioned to pro wrestling, because we've seen a lot of actors that have tried to do pro wrestling related stuff and it doesn't come off as well. He's seamless. Like it looks like it's easy for him.
John, yes,
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
is easy.
It's like that's the thing. Like we've seen, and interestingly enough, also Cesar is very good at going from acting to the wrestling stuff. John is very good at going from the wrestling to acting stuff. And I feel like Lucha Underground probably helped a ton of people with that, because there were so many more cinematic elements before that was the norm.
Yeah, it was every single backstage scene was shot like how you would shoot a regular television show. So you're doing the scene from the front, from the back, from the side, close-ups. You're repeating the scene several hundreds of times, like trying to get this right. It was really fun because I think it really taught us all a lot about what it meant to be doing television and what it's like, because it was shot so differently. And I just really love watching a lot of that back because it was such a really happy time in a lot of people's careers. You look at the Phoenix, the Pentagons, Thunder Rosa, Daga, Jeff Cobb, everybody, myself, John, that came from that. It really was for us all like that first stepping stone to kind of getting that exposure and getting out there.
I mean, I think the first couple of seasons of that were just, at the time, probably my favorite TV show, period, at that time. I was so pumped to see that every single week. Do you want to see more elements of that incorporated into MLW, or is it kind of a leave the memories alone type of thing? Because I know it is a special memory for a lot of people.
I think a little bit of both. It's just like when you have your favorite, for example, I just watched the Willow television,
Yeah, yeah.
on Disney Plus. And Willow is one of my favorite movies growing up. So I was like, I don't know about this kind of thing. But then because I'm just so in love with the original, right? So I feel like sometimes I'm like, just like that with Lucha Underground, I'm like, oh, but I was just so in love with the original. But then also it just makes it really fun and really a sense of like comfort when we get to do things that remind me of such a good time in my life.